Hello and welcome. My name is Kevin Cow, and we are a consulting firm consulting on the company Lobs, Love, and Lessons Tennis Club. In this presentation, we will outline the background of the company, the document flowchart, the internal controls and recommendation solutions that we found for the company. Alright, a little bit of background about it. The company Lobs, Love, and Lessons Tennis Clubs is a large regional chain of full-service tennis clubs. The club is open 7 days a week, 6 a.m. to 10 p.m. People entering the club must have a membership, or they can buy a visitor's pass for $16 at the entry. We found that the current process of the company are that the employee gets the cash from the customer, and then he deposits the cash into the lockbox and takes the waiver and files it. At the end of the day, the accountant collects the cash out the cash box and counts it, and then gives a receipt to the employee. He then deposits the cash into the bank, and the following day after, he records the amount into the cash receipts journal.
Hi, my name is Bo Zhang, and I am the second colleague to present the revised internal control procedure. So our new internal control procedure still start with a front desk conductor. When the customer get in, they need to scan their membership card to verify they're a member or visitor. So if they are the member, they are being accepted, going to enjoy their services. If they are a visitor, the front desk conductor will guide them to sign a waiver form first, and then the conductor will file all of the waiver form at the end of the day to the waiver form file. So after the customer sign the waiver form, the customer need to pay $16 visitor fee, and right now the conductor will use the cash register that we recommend the tennis club to buy in to issue the receipt back to the customer. In addition, the register will print out a copy of the receipt that for future verification in the recording process. So at the end of the day, the conductor will connect all the cash and check for the day and put into the note box. So after that, we recommend the custody employee come in to do the custody duty rather than the accountant as the original description. So the custody employee come in to connect all the cash and check they get today, count for it, and also make deposit slip. So the deposit slip will indicate the total amount of cash and check they get, and one copy that the custody employee will bring into the bank for verification, and another copy of the deposit slip will go to the accountant for recording process. So in the evening, as the original description indicate, the custody employee will deposit the money and check into the bank account, and also get the deposit receipt from the bank. And then this employee will bring this deposit of receipts to the accountant for the recording process. So right now we go into the recording process that we recommend the accountant to finish the whole recording process on the same day as the custody employee deposits the money into the bank. So here also we introduce three-way matching system that right now the accountant get the cashier receive the front desk cash register, and also the deposit slip that indicate total amount of cash and check the custodian employee collect from the notebooks. And finally, the deposit receipts that indicate how much amount of money the custodian employee deposit into the bank. So based on all those three documents, the company can prevent any stealing, loss, mistake, and corruption. So right now, the bookkeeper can start a book recording process, and the company just use the cash basis that debit the cash account and credit the services revenue. So all those journal entry will go into the subsidiary ledger, and in the future it will go into the master file for future bank reconciliation. Thank you.
My name is Yuping Huang, and I present the third part, the internal control. Well, as we can see, the company's existing internal control did have some weakness. Let's look at the front desk procedure first. In this case, only one employee at the front desk handles both cash and waiver form, and there is no cashier receipts to prove the transactions. And it will lead to two kinds of situations. The first situation is that the employee may pocket cash. Let's think about it. If the employee didn't let the customer know about there is a waiver form they need to fill up, or they just hide the waiver form or tear up it, then they could keep the money in his own pocket and nobody knows. And the other situation is that the employee could allow relatives or friends to enter the club without paying fees, and it's untraceable as well. Thus, we need some recommendations to improve the weakness. First, we could suggest the company to use a security camera to make sure there is no fraud occurs at the front desk. Second, the cash register and cashier receipts are required. When the customer pays the bills, after the customer pays the bills, then the employee should issue 2 copies of receipts. One receipt will give to the customer, and the other receipts will give to the accountants to verify the transactions. Last but not the least, we could bring the customer into our internal control. Well, the company could encourage the customers to get their receipts by giving them some small bonus, just like a coupon or a gift.
Hi, my name is Lawrence Tam. I'll be talking to you guys about internal controls for custody and bookkeeping. Currently, the way the gym is set up, the accountant takes the cash and takes it to the bank himself. We should have a separation of duty between the record keeper and the guy who deposits the cash. Additionally, the accountant may lose the cash en route to the bank. Some recommendations for the gym include a 3-way match system, which includes deposit slips, deposit receipts, as well as cash receipts. This will prevent the accountant from making mistakes or being tempted to doing the wrong thing. Our second recommendation includes segregation of duties. Currently, one employee, the accountant, runs the record keeping as well as the deposits of the cash and checks. By splitting this role into 2 functions, we create greater controls over our system because the record keeper is separated from the depositor. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Christina Sanchez, and I'm a part of an internal audit team who was asked by our customer, Susan Richmond, who works for Lobs, Love, and Lessons Tennis Club, to review the current internal control process. My colleagues have presented background information on the services that the country club offers, insight into the current internal controls. Also presented was a document flowchart on how we recommend the internal control process should work. Additionally, some threats have been identified, and some recommendations to remedy those threats have also been included. It is very important to consider the concerns of the customer. And Susan has clearly stated that she is concerned about the cost versus the benefits. Some of our recommendations are in our lower cost arena. We suggested that the security camera would be placed at the front desk. This way they can monitor the cash being handed from the customer to the desk clerk and from the desk clerk to the accountant. Another suggestion on a higher cost would be to hire an additional employee. Also, we are hoping that this will eliminate any employees who are tempted to allow any of their family members or friends to enter the facility without paying or filling out the waiver form. Another suggestion we made that was on a lower cost basis was the cash register. With this, we can also improve our internal controls by being able to record transactions instead of just having the lockbox and just having the waiver forms. Now we have an item, cash register, that would provide another layer of verification and accountability, not only for the desk clerk, but also for the accountant. A very low cost suggestion that we made was segregation of duties. Currently, the accountant counts the cash and makes the deposit. Our recommendation would be for the accountant to do only the recording of the deposit and the custodial employee make the deposit. Thank you for listening to our findings